Some retirees want to move to Thailand, spend every pension check, and never answer another work email. Others try that version of freedom and discover they are bored before the first month is over. The strange part is that both groups may be right. A recent discussion among military retirees turned into a surprisingly honest comparison of what retirement can look like in real life. People described moving abroad, living from several pensions, buying farms, traveling full-time, building businesses, and going back to work because doing absolutely nothing felt worse than expected. In this video, we will look at 8 retirement plans people have actually pulled off, followed by 2 quieter variations that explain why one person's dream retirement can feel like another person's trap. The first plan is geographic arbitrage. Earn your income in an expensive country, then spend it somewhere your money buys a much better life. The discussion was full of people planning moves to Thailand, the Philippines, Greece, Ecuador, and Mexico. One retiree described living near the ocean in Mexico after years of long trips, cycling, kayaking, and camping. Another family planned to live from guaranteed pension income on a Greek island. This works because the income stays roughly the same, while housing, food, services, or taxes may look very different. But vacation math is not retirement math. A beach town can feel perfect for 10 days and lonely by month 6. Healthcare, residency rules, language, power outages, distance from family, and the cost of returning home can turn a cheap life into a complicated one. The safer version is to rent there through an ordinary season, keep a return home reserve, and pay attention to what Tuesday feels like after the novelty wears off. A more cautious version is seasonal retirement. Instead of selling everything and declaring one country your forever home, you move slowly. A few months here, a few months there, then return to a familiar base. One couple in the discussion planned several years of short stays before choosing where or whether to settle permanently. That plan buys information before commitment. You learn which places still feel good when it rains, when you need a dentist, and when you are not behaving like a tourist. The trade-off is constant logistics. Insurance, visas, mail, taxes, possessions, and travel fatigue do not disappear because the scenery is better. Seasonal retirement suits people who enjoy movement itself. For someone who secretly wants a porch, a doctor who knows their name, and the same grocery store every week, it can become a very expensive way to avoid choosing a home. The third plan puts the home on wheels. People described buying an Airstream, traveling the country at their own pace, living in an RV, and taking long train journeys simply because they finally had the time. It is easy to see the appeal. No lawn, no fixed view, and no need to wait for a 2-week vacation window. The hidden cost is that a moving home still behaves like a home, except it now has tires, campground fees, fuel bills, and mechanical problems in unfamiliar towns. A smart version keeps the vehicle modest, maintains a repair reserve, and has some kind of home base or exit plan. The retirement works because the person loves the road. It fails when the road is being used to run away from a life they never bothered to design. The fourth plan is the small farm or homestead. One retiree bought land abroad and raised goats. Another story involved a turtle farm in Thailand, which is certainly one way to make your former co-workers stop asking what you are doing these days. Several others dreamed of a small farm that could be tended without becoming another full-time career. This plan makes more sense than it first appears. A farm gives the week structure, creates visible work, and can provide community in a way that sitting beside a pool does not. But land is not passive. Animals need care, roofs leak, and physical work gets less charming when your back disagrees. The protection move is simple. Start smaller than your fantasy. Rent before buying, test the labor, and make sure the place still works if you need to hire help later. The fifth plan is the one people quietly envy. Stack reliable income streams until employment becomes optional. In the discussion, couples described 2 military retirements, disability income, future social security, civilian pensions, and survivor benefits. One retiree had a military pension, a county pension, and social security approaching. Another household expected several checks every month for life. The strength is obvious. A dependable income floor protects the retiree from having to sell investments during a bad market and makes ordinary spending easier to plan. The price is less obvious. Those checks often represent decades spent building eligibility, sometimes through a second full career. There may also be survivor choices, inflation limits, taxes, and rules that do not combine as neatly as people assume. The useful lesson is not that everyone needs 3 pensions. It is that guaranteed income and investment wealth solve different problems, and a strong plan knows which bills each source is meant to cover. The sixth plan is building real estate while still working. One commenter described a man who supposedly retired with dozens of homes and sold them. Another said he had accumulated 6 properties and still handled a little online work. The numbers in stories like these can become folklore very quickly, but the model itself is real. Use working income to acquire assets that later produce rent or can be sold. Real estate can create income, inflation protection, and a sense of control. It can also create tenants, vacancies, roofs, insurance claims, local concentration, and a phone that rings when a toilet stops working. A portfolio of rentals is not automatically a retirement plan. Sometimes it is a property management company wearing a retirement hat. The safer version has conservative debt, cash reserves, reliable management, and a clear answer to one question: could you still enjoy retirement if you sold half of it? The seventh plan is an encore career that produces a second pension. Several retirees in the discussion left military service young enough to work another 20 years in telecommunications, local government, firefighting, or civil service. They did not retire once. They retired twice, with a second group of friends, another identity, and another income stream. For some people, this is the best plan in the entire list because it solves more than money. It preserves structure, community, and a reason to be useful. The trade-off is time. A second pension can be financially impressive and still cost the healthiest years of your 50s. The better question is not whether another career pays well. It is whether the work is good enough that you will not resent the years you traded for the check. The eighth plan is to turn retirement into ownership. One story described a veteran who used his transition period to train for a franchise operation and was ready to open around the time he left service. Others described consulting, contracting, and small businesses that could be scaled without returning to a normal boss. This is brilliant for the retiree who does not want rest as much as control. A business can provide challenge, status, and upside. It can also consume more time than the career it replaced. The protection move is to keep retirement capital separate from business risk, prove demand before making a large commitment, and be honest about the label. If you are hiring staff, managing payroll, and checking sales at 10 o'clock at night, you may be independent, but you are not exactly retired. Those are the 8 main plans. The next 2 are less impressive on paper, but they may be more useful because they sit directly between the 2 sides of the argument. The 9th plan is a small job that you do not need. People mentioned working a few days for airline or hotel benefits, taking a relaxed retail job, doing seasonal work, or refereeing basketball. The point is not the paycheck. It is having somewhere to be, people who expect you, and a skill that can still improve. This version of retirement works because the job has lost its power over you. You can say no to extra hours. You can leave if management becomes ridiculous. You can choose meaning, perks, or social contact instead of chasing the highest salary. The danger is allowing a harmless part-time role to grow back into a full-time obligation. A proper retirement job should be easy to quit. The 10th plan is complete retirement, but with a life already waiting. One commenter said he had enough pension, benefits, and investments to stop working without reducing his lifestyle. Within a month, he was bored out of his mind, and hobbies became less appealing once he had unlimited time for them. Another retiree also stopped working, but filled the years with long-distance cycling, whitewater trips, hiking, travel, surfing, and life with his wife near the ocean. The financial position was similar. The daily design was not. That is the heart of the entire discussion. Doing nothing can be wonderful for a person who genuinely loves solitude, slow mornings, and very little structure. It can be brutal for someone whose work supplied friends, identity, competition, and a reason to get dressed. Before retiring completely, design an ordinary week, not a vacation week. Decide where movement, people, responsibility, and curiosity will come from once work is gone. The best retirement plans were not the ones with the biggest number attached. They were the ones where the person understood the trade-off and wanted it anyway. Moving abroad gives you purchasing power, but costs proximity. A triple pension plan gives security, but may require decades more work. A farm gives purpose, but also chores. A business gives control, but brings responsibility back through the side door. A good retirement plan is not a prize you win on your final day of work. It is a life you can repeat on a quiet Tuesday without needing to escape from it. Which of these plans have you seen work in real life, and what trade-off did that person accept?